Hello everyone and welcome to Legal Studies Unit 4, Area of Study 2, The People, the Parliament and the Courts Part 5. The focus of today's video is .5, features of the relationship between courts and Parliament in lawmaking, including the supremacy of Parliament, the ability of courts to influence Parliament, the interpretation of statutes by courts, the codification of common law, and the abrogation of common law. Let's begin by looking at the supremacy of Parliament. Parliament is the supreme lawmaking body. Parliament has the power to abrogate or codify common law. Parliament passes laws that establish courts and their jurisdictions. This does not mean that Parliament has unlimited power. Parliament must still operate within its jurisdiction. Parliament cannot make laws that are unconstitutional, and Parliament cannot ignore the rule of law. The ability of courts to influence Parliament. Judges can make the need for change in the law known to Parliament in their judgments. For example, courts may be forced to apply an out-of-date precedent, or the judge may express their disapproval of the law, which may encourage Parliament to make a change in law. Judges may not want to change the law and may leave this to Parliament as they are the supreme lawmaking body with the resources to develop comprehensive laws. An example of this is the coward's punch. In late 2013, there was a public outcry following the lenient sentences that were being handed down to a series of one-punch assaults in a number of states in Australia. In 2014, the Victorian Parliament passed the Sentencing Amendment Coward's Punch Manslaughter and Other Matters Act, making anyone found guilty of a one-punch attack face a minimum of 10 years in prison without parole. This sentence was handed down for the first time in April 2019. The interpretation of statutes by courts. Parliament creates statutes and judges interpret them to apply them to the case before the court. The definition of the words or phrases in an act becomes part of the law to be read alongside the act in future cases. This allows judges to clarify the meaning of words or phrases in legislation and either broaden or narrow their meaning. This, however, relies on parties bringing their cases to court. The Codification of Common Law. Parliament can create laws that confirm the common law principles created by a precedent to reinforce or endorse the principles established by the court. This may occur if there are gaps in legislation that the courts have had to fill. Parliament may then codify the common law to include the common law principle so it becomes statute law. This means that future court decisions cannot alter the law like they could have if it was left as common law. For example, we have native title. The principle of native title was created by the High Court in the 1992 Mabo case. This principle was confirmed and expanded upon by the Commonwealth Parliament in the Native Title Act in 1993. The abrogation of common law. Parliament can create laws that override common law, except High Court decisions on constitutional matters. This may occur because courts may interpret the Act in a way that was not intended by Parliament. So Parliament can pass an Act to override the precedent and to clarify the intentions of the Act. Or courts may develop precedent that Parliament does not agree with, such as if it is believed it does not accurately reflect the views and values of the community. For example, the Trigwell case. In 1979, the High Court declined to change the precedent that said owners of livestock had no obligation to ensure they were fenced in securely and prevented from straying on the road, and said this was a matter for Parliament to decide. The Victorian Parliament legislated to abrogate the rule and imposed negligence in the Wrongs Straying Animals on Highways Act, 1984. That concludes today's video. I hope that your knowledge of dot point 5 from Unit 4 Area of Study 2 has been consolidated. As always, if you do have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below or send me an email. Also, if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to be notified about future uploads. Thank you.